Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. Something in the air this winter could affect your family. We'll tell you what to watch for. And a major development that could change healthcare in rural areas. Plus, empty buildings are raising big questions for investigators.
And today the clouds are clearing and the sun is coming back to warm us up a little bit and also bring us another round of fire danger, but it will also bring us freezing conditions for some tonight, possibly even Victoria. All that in the weather coming up.
And we had the Mike Smith Classic yesterday at Victoria West High School. We'll highlight all of yesterday's games later on in the report.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and welcome to your Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning.
I'm just laughing because I met someone new in the sales department yesterday.
Oh, that's right, she did.
And I was right behind him in the little kitchen area, and I was like, I'm right behind you. And he was like, I'm so used to hearing you say you're watching.
You're watching, yeah. Classic.
It was fun. It was always great to meet new coworkers.
Well, I'm sure that is always a nice thing to see someone else. Well, something I'm sure a lot of y'all are used to is some warmer, humid weather. Well, that's not the case this morning. We're looking at I guess a pretty sunrise out there, but a chilly one at that. It is 45 degrees outside in Victoria County, and the dew point, look at that, y'all. It is still quite dry. 24 degrees away from the temperature at 21 degrees. That's bringing our humidity down to 39% right now, which is still enough for some moderate to high fire danger. And you can see all of us are looking at about the same dry humidity this morning. Some of us even sneaking into the 20% range down in our southwestern counties. So what that means is that humidity will continue dropping today and tomorrow, which is why we have an alert day again in effect for today, Tuesday, and tomorrow, Wednesday, for the dry humidity. But not only for that, also for freezing conditions as low as 30 degrees tonight for these counties, but also technically Victoria County. And we're going to be talking about all of that here coming up in a little bit, because if you're heading out the door for your Tuesday, grab that jacket. It is a little bit cool out there, obviously right now, but it'll stay kind of cool. Highs only getting up to the upper 50s underneath that Texas sun. And we'll be talking about the fire danger and the freezing temperatures coming up next.
The peak of flu season is here as colder weather hits the crossroads. Respiratory illnesses like flu, COVID, and RSV peak during the winter months. Cold weather and low humidity allow illnesses like flu to travel more easily. Experts say the cold weather also pushes people indoors where illnesses spread even faster. DTAR reports 256 cases of flu at both the hospital and walk-in clinic, 172 cases of strep, and 26 cases of RSV for December. There were 51 more cases of flu and 38 more cases of strep just this past weekend. Dr. Mark Gonzalez from DTAR says the ideal time to get vaccinated is late September and October when flu season begins, but it's not too late to receive a vaccine.
Temperature fluctuations can significantly influence how the flu transmits and overall contribute to the increased number of cases, especially at this time where more people are off. The temperatures fluctuate more, you would expect to see higher cases. And this is seen nationally. And even nationally right now during the season, I believe there have been about roughly 1,900 deaths and 49,000 hospitalizations.
Dr. Gonzalez says to take symptoms like fever, cough, and fatigue seriously. He says patients assume they can ride it out, but those illnesses can quickly escalate. Experts say to seek emergency care when needed and to take preventative measures as the cold weather lingers. Rural hospitals in the Crossroads could soon see more funding. On Monday, Governor Greg Abbott announced more than $1.4 billion in federal funding to help improve rural health care throughout the state. The funding comes from the Rural Health Transformation Program. The state will use a competitive process to allocate funds. The Crossroads has 9 rural hospitals, including Quara Regional Hospital and the Memorial Medical Center in Port Lavaca. The Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign has come to an end, but how much did they raise? Captain Kenny Jones says they raised more than $49,000. It'll go toward programs in the new year, but he says it'll probably just last 3 months. He says he'll work hard to make it stretch farther and continue serving the community.
I only see myself as a worker. I don't see myself as anything other than part of this team. And I try not to ever gauge personally, according to what we're taking in or how things are going. I try not to gauge that, personally as a failure or a success.
Jones says he's grateful for the community's support and that helping Victoria is a year-long effort. Fire departments are reminding homeowners not to wait too long to get rid of Christmas trees. Dry trees can catch fire quickly, especially if they're near heaters or haven't been watered. Whether you recycle, repurpose, or toss your tree, fire chiefs say the key is to remove it safely and promptly. Residents can dispose of live Christmas trees by leaving them out on regular yard waste collection days starting Monday. All lights, ornaments, and artificial materials must be removed. Artificial or flock trees will not be collected. President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu met face-to-face for high-stakes peace talks at Mar-a-Lago. Both leaders called the meeting productive with few differences between the sides. However, they disagree on Israeli settlements in the West Bank. President Trump says the two leaders also discussed Hamas's disarmament and issued a stern warning if they fail to disarm. Now to a growing fraud investigation. ABC's Sophie Flay reports on a scam worth over $1 billion.
Federal agents say they're now going door to door in Minnesota, investigating what officials describe as rampant fraud that could total more than $1 billion in taxpayer money. The sweeping investigation is targeting dozens of suspected fraudulent businesses accused of misusing public money that was meant to support social services, including everything from school lunches to childcare to housing assistance.
I would like to check a child in the daycare.
This video shows a self-proclaimed independent journalist visiting multiple daycare centers, which he claims got public funds, despite appearing to not have any children present when he visited. One state official is raising concerns about the video, but says the matter is being taken seriously.
I think we have questions around when were these visits. For instance, were they during times that the center was scheduled to be open? Was it during the weekend?
The video highlights concern about the Child Care Assistance Program, a taxpayer-funded daycare initiative which our Minneapolis station, KSTP, has reported on for months.
KSTP reported on license violations at some of these sites all the way back in January and noted that, quote, no children or staff were found at either location.
These latest developments are drawing new attention to ongoing federal investigations into wide-ranging fraud in the state. So far, dozens of people have been convicted in what prosecutors have called the largest COVID-19 fraud scheme in the United States, a case in which defendants were charged with stealing taxpayer dollars meant to feed children and using it to enrich themselves. FBI Director Kash Patel claims that case is just the tip of a very large iceberg. Now, he says he's surging more resources to Minnesota to investigate. But Minnesota Governor Tim Walz pushing back. His office insists he worked for years to crack down on fraud, saying he has strengthened oversight, including launching investigations into these specific facilities, one of which was already closed.
Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
The second pilot has died after two helicopters collided in New Jersey Sunday. The first pilot died at the scene. Both pilots are described as experienced aviators and friends. Authorities say they were flying in close proximity after leaving the airport. The NTSB says both helicopters will be moved from the accident site Tuesday as the agency investigates. For more local news, weather, and sports, come to crossroadstoday.com. It's now 6:39 on our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. New Year's Eve brings hidden dangers that many people don't realize. An expert shares what to watch for.
A deadly strike in the Eastern Pacific and new questions about a reported land attack in Venezuela. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with the details this morning.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, with that sun coming up today, we're going to be warmer, like I said, but then things get chilly tonight. So coming up next, we'll take a look and see if you will be freezing tonight. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Tuesday. For your Tuesday, like I was saying earlier, we're looking for another dry day out there, kind of like yesterday, where we're looking for humidity values between 15 to 25%, which would equal more fire danger. But not only today, Here we go, tomorrow afternoon as well. Once again, 15 to 25% humidity, and that equals right here, moderate to high fire danger. But not only for us, that extends all the way up into the Houston, Beaumont, Orange, Texas area, and a little bit into Corpus as well. So if you have any family or friends around these areas, I think it's safe to say let's just try not to do any kind of burning out there. And unfortunately, that also means no practicing fireworks. Now, if you're going to do fireworks, I can't stop you. I'm just one person. But if you're going to do fireworks, what I should tell you is do it outside of city limits, because it's illegal to do it inside of city limits. You can get a hefty fine or a penalty from the city. So do that outside of city limits and try to do it where there's not dry grass, because like I said, very dry humidity can start us some fires. But we have the alert day in effect for the dry weather, but also for our freezing temperatures tonight. Some of us will be dropping to or below freezing, 32 to 32 degrees, I'm thinking, across these counties. And we're going to look at those counties county by county in better detail here in a second, because what's going to happen today, Tuesday, is our clouds are going by out into the Gulf, and we're saying hello to that sunshine today as early as maybe 9, 10 of the morning time. And it's going to be sunny all day, folks, so go ahead and grab your sunglasses heading out the door. But tonight, the clear skies continuing will let us radiationally cool. Also, thanks to the drier air, there's less specific heat capacity. So here's what I'm thinking. DeWitt, Gonzales, Lavaca, Jackson, Wharton, and Matagorda County, y'all need to wrap your pipes tonight. However, Victoria County, I think we're going to hit freezing for about a half an hour. So I don't think we need to wrap our pipes. But for the rest of this week, don't need to do it again because we're warming up. We'll look at that next.
Happy Tuesday morning, Crossroads, and every high school is still on their winter break, but multiple basketball teams are playing in tournament action or district play currently right now. We're going to look at the Mike Smith Classic held by Victoria West High School, and it's the boys basketball tournament where we have Victoria West, Victoria East, and Goliad participating. And the Warriors yesterday got there an 0-2 start to start off. They lost to Brenham 61-53. They lost to St. Pius X as well at the same score, 61-53. They're looking to bounce back there for today's action. For Victoria East yesterday, they faced Goliad and won 68-53 before they lost that next game there out to Brenham. So again, Lawson Brown in that victory versus Goliad had 19 points. They're in the win. Now for Goliad, they lost to Brenham and they lost Victoria East, so they are currently 0-2 right now. So see how all these teams do here later on today for day 2 action of the Mike Smith Classic. Orfeo girls basketball opened up district play versus Kennedy with the final score 49-31. The Lady Cats are now 1-1 in district play, and officially they're 15-6 overall. They're going to be back in action Friday. They're at 5 p.m. when they face Pettis in another district clash. Now, Industrial girls basketball lost a tough one yesterday to the Poth Pirates in the Tulsa Midway Holiday Tournament right now. They're looking to get back in action for more tournament action in Corpus later on this afternoon. This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
Experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can stream our daily newscast and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus. Now to the emerging questions following the strikes on Venezuela. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with more on what appears to be the first U.S. land attack on Venezuelan soil.
This morning, U.S. military releasing video of the latest strike on a suspected drug trafficking boat in the Eastern Pacific, killing 2 people. It marks the 30th U.S. strike of its kind at sea in recent months, and it comes as President Trump shares updates on the first land attack. Trump saying the United States hit a dock in Venezuela.
There was a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs. They load the boats up with drugs, so we hit all the boats, and now we hit the area.
In a radio interview last Friday, the president saying the U.S. knocked out a big facility in Venezuela. Meanwhile, the president welcoming Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at his Mar-a-Lago club, where he was pressed by reporters for more details on the strike, including whether the action was carried out by U.S. military.
I know exactly who it was, but I don't want to say who it was. But you know, it was along the shore.
The U.S. has been building up its military presence in the region with nearly 15,000 troops and several warships standing ready in the Caribbean. Earlier this month, Trump ordering what he called a complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela. And adding to the pressure on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, Trump said last week that it would be smart for him to step down. Meanwhile, Maduro said Venezuela would continue to trade oil and has said regime change will just not happen. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
The New Year's holiday is traditionally a time for new beginnings, but don't let drunk driving spoil the celebration. Mark Kelly with the Billy T. Gatan Recovery Center says it's easy to underestimate your ability to drive after drinking alcohol. You may even think or feel like you're okay to get behind the wheel even when you're not.
If you're going out and having drinks for the holiday, please have a plan. Get an Uber or a Lyft and do not get behind the wheel even if you've just had one drink. It is easy to underestimate how much you've had to drink, and it really doesn't take that much to put you over the legal limit.
TxDOT reports that in December 2024, more than 2,000 drunk driving related crashes were reported across the state. If you see news happening, let us know. Call the number on your screen to contact our newsroom or email us your tips at staff@crossroadstoday.com. It's now 6:47 on our Tuesday morning. Still to come on Sunrise. Experts are surprised by new numbers they're seeing. Discover what's catching their attention. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Brooklyn. Happy birthday, Brooklyn. Happy birthday, Brooklyn, Pop and Mima. Hope you have an amazing day just like you. We love you. Must be thinking about my mom.
Oh, there you go. Happy birthday, Brooklyn. And also happy birthday to Kaj. Happy 6th birthday to Kaj Stevens. He's also our cake winner today. We're so proud of everything that you do and hope you have a great day and an even better 2026. And that's for Mom, Dad, Lydia, and the rest of your family.
You got 24 hours to go pick up that sweet Fountain's birthday cake.
That's right.
Happy birthday to Christina. Happy birthday, my love.
Happy birthday, Christina. And also happy birthday to Johnny. Happy 2nd birthday to our Johnny. We love you so much from Grandma, Popo, Aunt Julie, Mom and Dad, and your brothers.
Happy birthday to Joyce. Happy 11th birthday. Love from Mom and Dad.
Happy birthday, Joyce. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, you can come to crossroadstoday.com. Just click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
It's now 6:48 on our Tuesday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right. Happy birthday, y'all. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. For your Tuesday, like I was saying earlier, the sun is coming back out today. Yesterday it was pretty cloudy, and that's what kept us in the 40s and 50s all day long. Today we're going to be in the upper 50s. I'm thinking a high of 59 in Victoria with that Texas sun coming up over the horizon. That's going to be 6 degrees below where we're supposed to be for this time of year. But low temperatures tonight, that's also below. Think of 32 in Victoria. Like I said earlier, I think we'll be freezing for at least part of the county, maybe some spotty areas for about a half an hour. So I don't think we need to wrap our pipes in Victoria County. But all those other counties, like I said earlier, that's a different story. We're talking, if you missed it earlier, I'm thinking DeWitt, Gonzales, Lavaca, Jackson, Wharton, and Matagorda County. Those counties, I think y'all need to wrap your pipes just for tonight. Because after tonight, we're going to be warming up. You can see highs for most of us in the upper 50s, getting close to 60. But here's the warming up part I was talking about. Let's go into 2026, the brand new year, y'all. Woohoo! We're warming up back into the 70s and 80s. 83, I'm thinking, for the high on Friday. That's the day after New Year's. New Year's Day is going to be Thursday. And then we'll have a weak front that'll be here Friday night, and that'll drop our highs only a few degrees. That's why I say weak front. We'll be back in the upper 70s for a couple days and back into the 80s next week. But for the rest of the country, you can see our cloud cover departing out into the Gulf right now thanks to this low system pushing out to the East Coast. That's what's bringing them some chilly temperatures, which you'll see in a second. Here's our low system, a system out in the Pacific that'll bring us our front on Friday. But like I was saying, you think it's cold down here? It's 3 degrees up north. Thankfully, it's not that cold here. We'll look at all that and more later on Sunrise.
More people are buying homes. The National Association of Realtors says contracts to purchase previously owned homes jumped unexpectedly last month, rising 3.3%. The index tracking sales is now at its highest level in nearly 3 years. Experts credit lower mortgage rates for the increase. Driving around is a little easier on the wallet. The national average for a gallon of regular gas is down 4 cents in the last week. Gas Buddy says prices are down more than 22 cents a gallon compared to a month ago. Prices in Victoria average $2.45 a gallon. Stock markets are also down as investors prepare to close out the year. Tech stocks are weighing on the S&P, which heads into today's session after losing nearly 0.4%. The Nasdaq and Dow each lost 0.5%. The new year will also mean new tax rules. The budget package passed earlier this year makes the tax rates enacted in 2017 permanent. It also eliminates taxes on up to $25,000 in income from tips and expands the deduction for state and local taxes. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. Artists versus leadership in a high-profile dispute. Find out what's dividing the arts community. Several artists are canceling shows at the Kennedy Center. Their reason, the name change. The center's president dismissed these cancellations, saying the artists were booked by the previous far-left leadership. Meanwhile, the Kennedy family has publicly disapproved of the name change. The judge in the Tyler Robinson capital murder case made several announcements Monday. The judge agreed to turn off Robinson's video during the hearing, allowing an audio-only appearance. The judge also said transcript and audio from an October closed-door hearing can be released in a redacted form. Robinson is charged with killing Charlie Kirk on September 10th. The deep-sea search is resuming for the Malaysia Airlines MH370 plane that vanished 11 years ago with 239 people on board. Exploration firm Ocean Infinity is leading the current search under a no-fine, no-fee arrangement. If the wreckage is found, the firm will receive $70 million, according to the Malaysian transport minister. A winter storm is wreaking havoc across the Northeast and Midwest and is pushing off the East Coast today. Forecasters say another system is headed to the region soon. More snow is piling onto existing drifts in the Great Lakes region. With the next storm, snow totals could reach 3 feet. Winter weather advisories span from the Northeast deep into Florida. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a look at a pretty chilly sunrise with Parker.
There you go, Carl. It's a little bit of both out there. Pretty and chilly out there right now. We've got a beautiful sunrise starting out the day out there. We've got all kinds of pretty pink colors out there, and I can almost guarantee you it's going to look even better in about 10-15 minutes because sun will come up at a little bit more of an angle to give us more of those vibrant colors. But 44, also chilly, like I said. So grab that jacket. 44 in Victoria County. We're all pretty much starting out at about the same thing right now. Low and mid 40s all around the crossroads. And it's even colder up in North Texas. They're up in the 20s and the 30s up there. Now, thankfully, we're not that cold today. We will be a little bit cool, so keep that jacket on you. Highs only getting up into the upper 50s. 58 Port Lavaca, low 50s by noon. Sunny all day, so grab your sunglasses too. All the clouds that are out here right now, they'll be vacating out into the Gulf here real soon, I promise. 59 for the high in Victoria, low 50s at noon as well, and about the same in Cuero, 59 for the high. So y'all stay warm. It will be just a tad cool, just a tad, before the rest of this week, I guess this year, into the new year, we're warming our highs back into the 70s and 80s. And like I said, tonight, some of our counties might be freezing, so if you didn't catch that earlier, go look at those counties because you might need to wrap your pipes.
We've got those warming centers posted on crossroadstoday.com. Thank you for being with us this morning. Join Shada Dawn, Maclovio, and Max today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.